Must have been hard to sleep way back in the day with all the frogs and the crickets. Still back towards Mabel Lake. To the deafening sound of nature at night. It's beautiful. So you got this derelict old house way out in the middle of nowhere here. I find these places so lonely. They must have been such a different life. This one though, I'm wondering, what's this for? Second floor door there. That's a house. That's a resident home. So I don't know what that top floor thing was for. And no trespassing. Although I doubt there get much trespassers out here. Yeah, I get bad juju off this place. I was gonna go have a little closer look, but no. Yeah, I'm getting it very strongly. No, I'm not going near that place. Nope. Something ain't right. Speaking of spooky, my next screenplay is called Little Sister. It's spooky. It's about an Elvis impersonator in Las Vegas, Nevada. And his younger sister, Shay is her name, is a concern in his life. And it isn't realized, or it isn't revealed, I guess, until near the end that the sister isn't the concern at all. There's something else going on. And I'm going to walk a little bit while I talk to you guys. I'll give you a little quick visual. This is all for sale, by the way. There's a for sale sign right there I'm going to go check out. So, you want to own this, could be yours. I'm creeped out by this place, so I'm not buying back here. But I will. Yeah, I don't like that place. I don't like that place. See, right there. Touched on this earlier. What do you need that for? Let me know in the comments if any of you would know what that would be for. Yeah, some bad shit happened in that place. Ooh la la. Anyway, so the screenplay, speaking of spooked, it's called Little Sister. And the main guy, sorry about the jostling, guys. I'm gonna get a GoPro. Oh, the newer GoPros, and they have image stabilization, so you won't have this all over the place like what's going on here. At some point I'll buy one of those things. The screenplay, Little Sister, Elvis impersonator, Vegas. The script is forming in my mind. The various characters. Much of what I put into my fiction, creative, is loosely based on things I've experienced in real life or been made aware of in real life. And this script is no different. The Elvis impersonator has, I'll get back to the script. You see, that feels lonely to me, you know? way back in the day, 100 years ago, whatever it was. You'd be lonely out here. And something went on back there. You don't want to know. So, Elvis impersonator Vegas, his housemates, two of them are an elderly couple that have remarkable similarities to the figure of Santa and his wife. And they work as Santa and his wife in one of the Vegas malls over the holiday season. Another housemate of theirs is a little person. I'm assuming that's an acceptable term. I really don't want to use the unacceptable term for someone in that niche. I don't know. This got really weird here tonight. This got really weird here tonight. Little Sister, name of the next screenplay. Horror, said I would stay away from it, but I'm not. I'm writing it. It's kind of passing through me. They kind of come up from the ether, or come down from the ether, some of these creatives, and you don't always necessarily have a choice. And that's what's happening with this story. So I'm going to write this screenplay. Elvis impersonator, Sister Shay. She's a stripper, and everyone in the story knows it except her brother. She is possibly hard drug addicted and possibly into some very dark stuff. The Santa and his wife characters work with the little person, all of whom are housemates of the Elvis impersonator, and the other three work in the malls of Vegas. And that takes on some very surreal aspects because they engage in psilocybin and marijuana on occasion, and it gets, well, trippy for them. These are just different aspects of the script. I'm into a 6.5 minute, it's going to be a big file, 6.5 minute monologue here, I guess. Trying to think of what else is going on with this script that I've got going. There's a serial killer operating in the vicinity of all of the characters in the film, and the relationship that they all have to this individual becomes apparent in the final scene. And the very final scene is a repetition of the opening scene, which I'm not going to go into because I want you to enjoy it like it's new. All of the subplots correlate and intertwine, and that all becomes apparent right at the end. That would get tough to sleep, or I guess you get used to it. And that's it from the creepy old haunted spot on the road on the way back to Mabel Lake. It's pretty much an entire video right here in one clip. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, if you could take a moment to push that subscribe button, really appreciate it. It doesn't cost anything, just takes a second, and it helps me out to keep doing these videos. With the monetization and the YouTube algorithm and all the other stuff I don't really understand, but I'll see you probably in a couple days. I can feel it clear as day. It's bad juju. If you don't believe in that stuff, good for you. I envy you. Little Sister. It's going to be the scariest movie you've ever seen. What was that? Okay, then. I don't even know what take this is. I've been having an issue trying to get this extra done. The area I was just in, back where that haunted house is towards Mabel Lake. It's some of the most beautiful country in British Columbia, which makes it some of the most beautiful country in the world. It's incredible back there. Highly recommend you go check it out if you have a chance. You go through Lumby, which is a beautiful little town itself, and then you make your way back to the lake on whatever road that is. I would recommend, if you do go back there, that you bring some small bills and some loonies and toonies. The reason is the farmers and agrarian types back on that road sell their stuff at the end of their driveway sometimes, where their driveways meet the main road that you're driving on to get back to Mabel Lake. So if you have cash, because you need cash, pick up free range eggs. One guy sells bacon. There's a woman who sells pasta sauce down at you put the cash in the little cash box thing they leave there. Away you go with their product, and it's quite good. So bring small bills and a little bit of change if you go, especially in the summer months, back to Mabel Lake along that road. Incredibly beautiful. There are recreation sites is what we have here in British Columbia, where you can stop and stay for a while. Right on the lake. It's a nice way to spend some time back there, and it is truly backcountry. You're way, way back in the British Columbia wilderness on this incredible lake spot. As far as the screenplay goes, I was trying to express this unsuccessfully in previous takes. When I write, especially screenplay genre, it kind of travels through me to an extent, from the ether through me. And I don't know where the creative stuff comes from. Don't really want to know. But right now, I am in the formulation stage of this script. There are a growing number of characters and circumstances and dynamics that are being created in my mind, and I'm writing them down to until I get to the point where I'm ready to start page one, fade in, and away we go. So it's great. It's wonderful having all of these creative outlets. This is one of them. Painting, photography, web development is also another thing that I do. I've got a lot of creative, and I feel very fortunate and grateful that I do. In the screenwriting world, when I'm developing a character or a scene or a dynamic or something like that, an aspect of what is happening in the story will sometimes sort of manifest in my own emotions. So I have written extremely funny scenes in some of the previous scripts, and I'm laughing out loud as I write them, and that's wonderful. And there are romantic circumstances that get very intense and go well, and sometimes don't. I feel that as well as I'm writing, to an extent. I mean, it's not overwhelming or anything, but I do feel what is going on with the character and is going on in the scene as I'm writing it on a certain level. And this latest script, there's evil. It's a horror movie, right? It's there's a serial killer and there's all this dark stuff going on. So I mean, I'm not walking around evil, but I'm getting these dark vibes as I'm coming up with these characters and these dialogues and dynamics and whatnot. Visually, it's going to be incredible. A lot of neon, a lot of surreal. The guy's an Elvis impersonator, so that gold suit Elvis used to wear he wears that. The protagonist wears that in some of the scenes, and he wears the outlandish whatever Elvis was going for with the high collars and the overdone sideburns and stuff, and the glasses, of course. And it's Vegas, right? So and there's a little person. I don't know if dwarf is the right term for that. Anyway, and then there's the Santa Claus and his wife, and then the sister who's like this goth stripper who may or may not be a heroin addict, and then Elvis, and all of these things happening. Wonderful experience, but there is, a dark element to it. And I'm in the zone now where the focus is on creeping people out, right? So that bit I was doing back at that house back there, I do sometimes pick up energy, often from people. I'll feel good or bad, or the creepiest is when you feel nothing at all from them. And I don't mean sociopathic scenarios. I mean spiritually, there's nothing there. That gets a little creepy. Often it's love or a little bit of anger or whatever. But yeah, I pick up on the energy, whether you believe in that stuff or not. If you don't believe in that, I kind of envy you on a certain level, because like what I was getting from that house, that haunted house I was just at, back by Mabel Lake here in British Columbia, Canada, I think it'd probably be better to not be aware of whatever's in that house, right? Unless, you're into a situation where it decides it wants to try and get inside you, right? Then I think it's best to be aware of it and fend it off, right? Because there are things that go bump in the night, surely. And sometimes they want to engage you. I'm just fucking with you guys. I'm in the zone to creep people out because I'm writing the horror, so that's what I'm doing. All good. See you in a couple days.